Hello, and welcome to City's Baked Goods. Today we're going to be making blueberry crisp tarts. We're also going to be prepping for doing the rest of our tarts in the coming week. So we're going to make a lot of dough today and the blueberry crisp tarts. So let's get into it. To start off, we're going to put our salt and flour together and then our butter. We're making 4 batches today. Because I'm making such a large batch, I'm going to be using the machine. Use the paddle. You need to be very careful here, so make sure you watch as it goes so that you don't rush it too much. You're just going to turn it on for a little bit. Once you get to this mealy stage, you're going to mix your sour cream with your water. You can actually do it this way so it's easier. And make sure you have some cold water off to the side, so just in case you're in like a humid area or a dry area, you might need a little bit more water. And it's easier to just have that off to the side and just add what you need as you go. Once you've mixed this up, you can just pour this all in. And then make sure you scrape all of it. Then just start again very slow and let it go until it just forms a dough. Don't overmix it. And we're done. That takes literally 2 seconds. If you go too quick or anything, you'll mess that up. So once you have all this done, just make sure that all of this is off so that you're not wasting anything. We need to separate this into 4 batches. We'll use one today, we'll use one for fruit tarts, one for maple tarts, one for apple crisp tarts, and of course today's our blueberry crisp tarts. So once you have this into a nice ball, which should be easy now. Okay, now that I set up everything, we're just going to weigh this. Okay, 1,325. Now I gotta divide that by 4. There we are, 4 different pieces. Wrap them up. We'll put one in the fridge for today and the rest we're going to put in the freezer. This is just like a pie dough, so the longer it cools, or sorry, the colder it is, the better it is. So putting it in the freezer is actually a plus. It just means you can't use it right away. So make sure when you do take it out of the freezer that you give it some time to thaw out so that it's not a brick. There we are. Now we're going to start doing the topping and the filling for the tarts. The topping's very easy. It's basically a streusel, but with oats, and we're going to use brown sugar and cinnamon to flavor it. So I have the butter already in here. Make sure it's zeroed out. We're going to add in our flour first. Once the flour's in, we're going to add in our sugar. You can use white sugar, but brown sugar has way better flavor, and I think you should probably use brown sugar. Our oats. And then finally, our cinnamon. But before I put the cinnamon in, I'm going to just rub this together, get everything together, and then I'll determine how much cinnamon I should add. This is to taste, so it's all up to you. If you like a lot of cinnamon, go for it. If you don't even need to put it in. You can just go with this mixture. You can even go with different spices. So like I know some people who like nutmeg and allspice for this. I just personally like cinnamon. Now to add our cinnamon. So, I like a big chunk of cinnamon. I want to be able to taste this. I know some people who will only put like a teaspoon. That was probably closer to a tablespoon. But if you put like a teaspoon, you're never going to taste it. So I prefer to get a nice chunks in there so you can taste it. There we are. We'll put this off to the side. We can even put this in the fridge. And then we will do our filling. Now for our filling. Unfortunately for me, I didn't have enough blueberries. So I did adjust it for myself. But just follow the recipe and it'll be enough for the dough itself. Pre-measured lemon juice and zest. Sugar, and of course flour. Just a little bit. So be very careful if you're using a big bag like this. And you're just going to go slowly mixing it together. No need to overmix. And this is what your filling is going to be. Very simple. Because of the flour you have in there, this will thicken up when you cook it in your tarts. And it's going to look real nice. Now that we've waited our time, get your dough ready. Try and keep it as circle as possible. Actually, I take that back. You want to make a rectangle shape. That's this length or double. The reason why you want to do that is so that you get as much in a row that are the perfect size so you don't waste anything. Once you get to this stage, you can now cut. This is slightly bigger than the last time I made the tarts, when I made those maple tarts. So these will fit nicer in the muffin tin, which I'm hoping will reach to the top so that I get the perfect shape and I can fill it as much as possible. Now we're going to just roll this last bit out. Make sure you don't overwork it. You want it at the same size as this, and then you just want to make a rectangle again. So you can get 3 more is all we need. Now let's fill them. Put the berries in first, then the liquid, then top them. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, I didn't have enough blueberries, so I might have to adjust them and they'll be small for me. But if you follow the recipe from the beginning with what I have on my book or in the description, you'll definitely have enough blueberries I'm just gonna have to play around to make sure that it's even. And finally, we're gonna top them. Again, they're a bit shallow, but that's only because the recipe is a little bit less than what I normally would do. So they're a bit small, but we'll see. This main test is for taste, and I want to make sure that it tastes good. I will make this again and show you the real version where I have the full ingredients, but I just wanted to make sure I had everything perfectly fine. So I now know that the dough is perfect because it's up to the top. I know that this crust is perfect because I still have tons left, and I can use this for the apple crisp ones. But now we're just going to put this in the oven and see what they turn out to be. Here's how they turned out. They're a bit puffed out, the filling, because when it's hot it rises more. When you have the correct amount of filling and crumble on top, the dough itself won't shrink as much and will be perfectly fine. All I'm going to do is let it sit for a few seconds, pop them out a bit, let them cool down a bit longer after that, and then take them off. Here's how they turned out. They're looking good. Only issues are they're bleeding over because the dough is shrinking too much, and that's an easy fix. Also, I'm going to add more topping to make it so that it covers the whole thing and doesn't have these weird pockets. And we're going to have a slight change of plans, where I'm going to remake these with the apple crisp tarts. I'll do that next time. And then I'll make a little bit extra dough so that I can still make the maple and the fruit tarts. So, if you've liked this video, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I even have my own website. Thank you, and have a nice day.